I think like when you go for a job, sod what you learnt at school.
Yes.
It's like, what have you learnt at the University of Life? We fell in love, I think, really, on a sport relief challenge. I loved it. Fearne didn't love it so much.
I absolutely
But
hated
we slept on bunks together opposite each other on a bus. And then I thought, I need to get my brain in the right place. And that was to a place where I could be calm.
Yeah.
And what did I need to do that? Were my kids gonna... Were my kids gonna be okay if I didn't make it? You know what's funny? I don't know if I'd be able to do this if I didn't know you were here. Like, that's quite sad, isn't it? It's like...
No, it's so lovely.
Yeah, you are.
He's always there with a hairbrush in hand, ready for a blow dry. Look, I'm so grateful you're here. And also, shush you. Shut up.
I just got that. I was so slow.
You filthy minds. Well, look, we've already done this backstage, but I want to say a massive thank you for just being a bloody great mate.
Yeah.
Because you are the best.
I've got to say, we fell in love, I think, really, on a sport relief challenge.
Oh, God.
Where we cycled from...
John O'Groats.
John O'Groats to Land's End.
Yeah, it was awful.
I loved it. Fearne didn't love it so much.
I absolutely hated it.
But we slept on bunks together opposite each other on a bus. And I fell in love with you over 4 days of like us going through one of the hardest things ever done.
Who knew? I was like, oh, this is cute, like a bike ride. Sure. It was so hard.
And then since then, I think I've been learning more and more about you. But really, in the last year, we've supersized.
We really have. Yeah. Oh, my God. And there's been so many reasons why.
Yeah.
We had a really weird end of last year, both you and I.
Yeah.
And I remember I'd come on to be a guest on Begin Again, your fucking great podcast. And you had said to me, I've got this health thing going on. And obviously it's shocking and you think, I want to be there for my friend. And we talked about it on the phone afterwards. And then I think I called you 4 weeks later and went, oh, I've got a tumour too. It was so weird.
So weird, but I guess in a weird sort of way, sometimes I feel like there are other powers at play. And I was thinking, God, I can empathise with you. Empathy is such a powerful emotion, I think. And it's one thing to say, oh, I'm really sorry, but you know when you know somebody's been through something or is going through something, and all the fear that comes around that word tumour and things, and that we could, I mean, I've got goosebumps literally talking about it, that we understood each other and we were in a place where we could really, it felt like an awful but life-saving.
Yeah, the timing was
it was
wild.
Weird.
And I spoke to you a
weird.
hell of a lot. And I spoke to you and I was in hospital on the phone, and you were just so amazing with not even advice, just sort of being there and listening, and just knowing you were there was amazing.
No, I feel the same way about you.
I mean, it was just great to have you during that time. How did you, I don't know if you did mitigate it, but how did you mitigate the fear around that word and knowing with an operation like that, there is risk? How did you cope through the sort of the lead up to it?
I think quite a big thing that I did, because I actually found out that I had they said it was a benign brain tumour. So really for 4 months I was like, well, benign, that's fine, right? Like absolutely fine. I don't need to do anything about it. I'll just leave it there. I've had it since I was born. You know, in fact, it started growing in my brain when I was in my mum's tummy. So I was like, oh, I'm fine. So I didn't really think about it for 4 months. Then when I went to see the doctor, this was in August 2024. No, 2023. August 2023. I went to see a neurosurgeon in January. And then I went to see another neurosurgeon to have a talk with them to go, hang on a minute, I just need to get a second opinion, because they were kind of saying, oh, it's quite big, we think you should get it removed. And I was like, what, have brain surgery and I don't have any symptoms? Why would I do that? That seems completely mad. It's benign. And then I got a third opinion. And then I got a fourth opinion.
Just to be sure.
Brain surgery. Are we absolutely sure? But the third opinion was the guy. I was like, you're taking it out. I loved him. He was absolutely brilliant. Michael and I sat, we had a FaceTime with him. I was like, you're the man. But the fourth opinion, I phoned somebody in America and I said, you are absolutely not going to operate on me ever. But please, would you just give me an honest opinion? Because I think if someone thinks they're going to operate on you, they can't say you have to have this operation in case it goes wrong. So I ended up going, you're not going to operate on me, tell me what to do. And I was at the Masked Singer. It was October last year. I was having the operation in November, and I'm in the courtyard outside the cabins, walking around on the phone to this woman in America. I'm going, so what do you think? What do you think? And she was going, okay, it's a big tumour. And I was like, okay, it's a big tumour, right. How big? And she goes, it can't grow anymore, or you will get hydrocephalus, which is water on the brain, and you'll go into a coma. Like if you were on a plane, you'd have to do emergency landing. I was like, oh God, okay, that was bad. Then she goes, I love your surgeon, he's amazing. I was like, yes, win, one win. And then she said, you absolutely have to get it taken out. Like it's got to go now. And I'm amazed. Are you sure you haven't got any symptoms? Sorry, this is a really long answer, but very quickly. Twice in the 2 years before my operation, I looked at Michael and I went, he's always thinking, he's always moving and talking and thinking and processing things. And I said, do you always think? And he went, always, I'm always thinking. And I thought to myself, I'm sure I used to do that. But I'd been doing bits of meditation, thank you, Fearne, inspired me, Fearne's inspired me. And I thought, oh, I'm just really present. But turns out, after I'd had the operation, I woke up and I didn't know what country I was in. I didn't know. Are you okay, darling? Are you sure? Oh,
is the bench broken?
Bench.
Oh, that's fun.
Are you all right?
We'll get you a little beanbag. Oh no, look, it's fixable. It's fixable. We've got this. Maybe go on the floor. Maybe go on the floor.
Sit on the floor.
That's our only disaster this festival so far. So okay, not bad going.
I was going to I went into full rescue mode.
Went into mum mode.
Hang on, I've got some plasters in my bag. So afterwards, I didn't know what country I was in. I didn't know I'd had an operation. I kept saying to Michael, listen, I need to get back from America. I was in London. I need to get back from America because I've got to have an operation tomorrow. And he was like, you've had the operation. 2 minutes later, I've got to have an operation tomorrow. We need to get back. It was like mad. But what I was aware of was a noise in my head. And I was like, oh my God, this noise. Oh my God. Do you know what it was? Thoughts.
Wow.
And I realized that I hadn't had that. Like I hadn't just been thinking. So now, every morning I wake up and I'm like, I wonder why the grass is green. I wonder that tree's over there. Why does the moon and the sun come up at the same time? How does that happen?
Quite deep. Quite deep shit.
Because I do think of really weird, random things.
Yeah, but that's so the tumour was preventing you from having just random thoughts.
Yes.
That's extraordinary. I
Not
didn't
anymore.
know that. No.
Yeah.
Now too many, maybe.
Too many.
Yeah.
Thank God for him. Michael, why do you think the sun and the moon comes up?
He's loving it.
He answered it for me. He knows. He actually knew.
He knows everything. He's the oracle.
Yeah, I paged the oracle.
I also...
The hot oracle.
The hot oracle.
Yeah.
As you were walking, doing that mime of you on the phone, I was imagining like a giant piranha walking past and someone else with a big head of a bowl of spaghetti on.
Well, the weirdest thing was, because it was a month away from the operation, that phone call, although it was a hard one to hear, I was relieved. Has anybody seen Fleabag?
Yeah, best
the
show
bit
ever.
in Fleabag where she goes, just tell me what to do.
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah.
I really needed someone to tell me, should I have this operation or am I mad? Tell me what to do.
Yeah.
And she did. And the relief I felt, and do you know what happened? Sorry, I'll shut up in a minute. I went back into the porter cabin and somebody from ITV came out that I don't know very well, but he's like a sort of boss guy. And he
sounds
looked
super
at me.
important to you.
Yeah, he was. No, but he was really important. I know his name now because he literally changed my life. Joe.
Right. Okay.
Joe Mace. He comes out and
I know Joe Mace.
Yeah. He said, "Are you okay?" I think he could see I'd been crying. And I said, yeah, I'm just relieved. I've just had some good news. Nobody knew at that point that I had a brain tumour. I said, I'm just relieved because, it's like... I said, I've got a brain tumour. He was like, okay. And he gave me a big hug, like an amazing hug.
Amazing.
And then he said, let's go talk about it somewhere private. Turns out that one of his family had a brain tumour. She was fine. And we sat down, we had a huge talk about all the feelings around it. But can you imagine, of all the people that I bump into after having that moment, was him.
Yeah.
And he knew exactly what to say to me. And these are the little things that happened to me to help me prepare. I was gifted things along the way. And I thought, I need to get my body. So I exercised a lot before the operation. I mean, I exercised, you know me.
Yeah. Always in a legging.
I exercised a lot all the time.
Yeah. Always got a dumbbell on the go.
And then I thought, I need to get my brain in the right place. And that was to a place where I could be calm.
Yeah.
And what did I need to do that? Were my kids going to... Sorry. Were my kids going to be okay if I didn't make it? Like, that's all I really cared about. I knew Michael. Michael's like a whole person. Michael's Michael. But I was really worried about my kids. So I went forensic on thinking about my children and where they were at in their life, what stage they were at. You know, you're only as happy as your unhappiest child, right? And I came to a realization after about 6 months of cross-examining them about their life and telling them the whole time how much I've loved my life. My eldest daughter caught on. She was like, you are not dying.
Yeah.
I was like, no. And I realized that they would be great. They'd miss me. And I want to be with them, but they would be okay. And I felt like I could go to sleep on the operating table and know that they were all here to help me, but I can let go of the outcome. And it was the best gift. I am not afraid of dying.
You still feel that way?
I am not afraid of dying anymore. And it was the biggest journey of my life from August 23 to November 24 was an amazing time where something changed. And Begin Again, the podcast, I started to help other people on their journey of living a life that they love enough to feel on their deathbed, whenever that may be, that I have no regrets.
Yeah.
I have lived the life I wanted, and I'm not lying there going, I wish I'd done that thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I'd done that job.
Yeah.
I wish I'd not stayed in this relationship. I wish I'd, all of those, I haven't lived the life I want. And Begin Again is about just begin again and live the life you want,
I mean, it's a really amazing place to get to. Not being scared of dying, but I think having no regrets and feeling like you are living fully in the life you want to be in. And I think it's quite rare. And I think with a health scare, there'll be plenty of people here. I've spoke to many of you this weekend who have been in that position. They've had a big health scare. And it does wake you up to that we've not got all the time in the world, that we haven't got time to waste.
I took after I got better and I came up to London and I started taking the tube again. And I remember sitting on the tube and looking at everybody, and I nearly turned into the weirdo that goes down the tube, going, smile, honestly, this is life, you're alive, this is amazing, we're on a tube and it gets us through London much quicker than a car. This is great, you're alive, this is going to be amazing, do something brilliant today, you're going to see a friend. You're seeing a friend, yes! I literally wanted to do that. I thought, no, don't do that.
I wish you had.
You will scare people.
But it would have gone viral on Instagram and it would have been so cool. Oh, I love that, but I get it.
Well, you had a scare, and it's like it's a wake-up call.
It's a
and we're lucky.
Wake-up call. We're so lucky.
We had a wake-up call, and we're here.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's a gift.
I mean, one of the most important things when you're going through anything, whether it's a health scare or any challenging adversity, something you're facing, are the people around you. I think you certainly realise that is the most important thing, actually, in life, are the people around you. And obviously, you've got Michael, you've got your children. Your stepmum was also... I got you and you got me. And your stepmum was so amazing as well in your recovery period. Well, your mum. You call her mum.
I call her mum.
But
officially she's my stepmom, but I don't know if anybody here has had a stepmom when they were growing up. But I spent my childhood. My mum, my birth mother, was like fucking amazing. I mean, you guys, you would have loved her. You, Michael, would have really loved her. She was gorgeous, French, exotic, mad, risk taker, exciting to be around, chaotic, someone that's exciting, but like I just wanted Angela Lansbury. Like I wanted someone really with sensible shoes.
Yeah.
This woman was a flasher. She used to wear coats and flash people in the street. She used to arrest people. She used to do citizens arrests. She was, it was madness. And I was in the back of a car once while she drove it across a cricket pitch while the match was on. So she was, but
Amazing.
but fun.
Yeah.
But I spent my life trying to get her to mother me, like thinking I'll go back and she'll change and something will happen and she will see me in a different light and she will want to mother me. And it never happened. But my stepmom became my stepmom when I was 6. And she was, oh God, Fearne. She was just there all the time, solid, dependable, loving, non-judgmental. And she is a very different person. She's very straight-laced. She loved my dad. My dad was quite a difficult person, but I would never have said that about him while he was alive. My granny was quite a difficult person, and my mum married into this family, and her life was quite difficult, but I never saw that or understood that. And in the last year and a half, we have talked a lot.
Have you? Yeah.
And it started with her apologising for asking me to leave home when I was 19. She said, I think we're moving into a flat. My dad had had a change of circumstances. They were moving into the flat. They were going to get 3 beds and they needed to rent one of the bedrooms out to make some money from businessmen that were coming over to learn English. And I got that. And I got looped and I found a room to rent off in a flat in Latimer Road. And I'm so pleased she did that. And throughout my life, I've said the best thing my mum did for me was ask me to leave home at 19 because I had to stand on my own 2 feet. I had to become financially independent, and I did.
But did you feel resentful at the time?
Not at all. But she had obviously carried it.
Yeah.
And I think this operation was coming, and she felt she needed to clear the air with a few things.
Wow.
And for her to say that to me and realise that I'd never held that against her. I don't know if this has ever happened to you guys, but whether you've apologised to somebody for something you did 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and it's bothered you all that time.
Yep.
And then they go...
Best feeling.
Yeah, but they go, I haven't thought about it.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about it. And you think, what, I've been fucking sorry, kids. I've been carrying this on my own. Like, why? And I had John Tickle from Big Brother. Do you remember John Tickle from Big Brother? He came up to me 10 years ago and he said, I've got to apologise. And I was like, what for? And he went, I did a panel show and I said something really not nice about you at all on it. And I was like, I didn't know.
Oh.
And he went, I am so sorry. And I said, but I didn't know. You've carried that all your life. Like if there is something that you need to get off your chest and apologise for,
do
it because the chances are they're not even aware of it. And you're carrying it around for someone else.
Yeah.
Like let it go.
We're so bad at apologising, aren't we, as well? Because it's so awkward. Like it is the most awkward thing, and it's terrifying because you fear you're going to get rejected in that moment.
Yeah.
But actually, I had this recently where me and a friend had a bit of a situation, and I reached out first. I apologised. It was kind of a two-way situation, and after we had that chat, we are so much closer. We were already close, but we're so close.
Yeah.
The weight off my shoulders was immense. It's sort of, and it's a low-level stress that you try and ignore, but it's there. But that's so big of your mum to do that.
Well,
it's amazing.
She and I then, it broke something in our circle of, in our relationship, and it mended something mega. And she and I, so before my operation, my mum laughs at me because I love wearing sexy clothes or sexy nighties or sexy dressing gowns. She's always like, oh my God, look at that. And I used to take it as an insult. So I was reading her wrong intention. I was reading her intention wrong. I thought she was kind of going, oh, you're too sexy, or you're just like your mum, or something like that. It wasn't that. She's joking with me, and she can joke with me because she loves me.
Yeah.
And I know she loves me, and I really know she loves me now. So she said to me, what nighties have you got for hospital?
She was panicking.
And she started, and I was like, do you want to see? And she was like, I don't know, do I? I was like, I'm putting it on, I'm coming down. So I'd actually gone like white company pyjama, very straight.
Very civilised. Very straight.
But I was like, but they are shorties. She was like, I don't want you flashing your brain surgeon, you know, like.
I love it.
It was really, we laughed so much about it, and then we kept revisiting it, and something profound has changed. I tell you something else. Michael really helped me see my mum for who she is, and you helped me see her intention. It was like I was blinded to it. And
Well, it's so hard when you're close to someone, isn't it? Like that, you can only see the bits that trigger you and make you feel pissed off, and you know, it's a whole other person.
It's perceiving someone differently.
Yeah,
intention is everything.
Yeah, it's massive.
It doesn't. Somebody can say something nasty to you with a bad intention, and it feels nasty. But then now, knowing that her intention is good, her saying something funny to me that's a bit taking the piss, now feels like a loving
There's
thing.
an intimacy to it.
And there's an intimacy to
Yeah.
it. It's so mad
So wonderful.
how your perception of something is everything.
Yeah, I think it's so important looking at step parenting as well, because it always gets a bad rap. It's not talked about positively.
Yeah.
And you're so open about that relationship. And I think it's
I'm
massively
a
encouraging
stepmom.
for people.
You know, he's a stepdad.
Yeah.
And we both were quite lucky in a way that our kids were quite old when we got together. But you know, his kids have got a mum and a dad that love them. They don't need another mum. I don't need to step in that way. I'm just a friend, and he's a friend to my kids, and that's worked so well.
Yeah.
And rather than me leaping in and trying to be really great and like really fun and ooh, let's go do this, I let them come to me. He let mine come to him, and it's been a really nice organic journey.
Yeah, it's so amazing.
It's a very fulfilling, enriching job.
Hugely. I've been a step parent for years and years, and I love my stepkids, and it's a really special relationship. How do you think, now you've got a bit of distance from your mum passing and having this new iteration of a relationship with your stepmum, when you look back at your childhood and your mum's absence or driving across the cricket pitch, all of those things, what do you feel now? How do you view it? How do you think it's impacted you as an adult?
I mean, I wouldn't, again, part of my am I okay to let go of my life has been to kind of examine all of that. And I wouldn't change anything, because without sounding arrogant,
Which you
because
never
it
could.
isn't, it's I love myself.
Yeah.
I have been on a massive life journey, and I have been through terrible struggles. We've been talking a lot about a Calamity Vitae instead of a curriculum vitae, because I think, like, when you go for a job, sod what you learnt at school.
Yes.
It's like, what have you learnt at the University of Life? How many calamities have you been through?
Calamity is such a good word.
The more
Underused.
you've had, I'm employing you.
Yes.
Because that's where the learning comes from. So whenever now in life I've learned that if something really hard happens, it's a good thing. So I was like to Michael, if I make it through this brain surgery, it's going to be the best thing that's ever happened to me. The learning that I have made in this year and a half, 2 years since I've had it done, or since I found out about it, has been so immense and enriching in my life. It's given me my stepmom. Like, I wouldn't change that for the world. But when it happened, obviously, it was like, oh, calamity incoming. But to not be afraid of disasters, they will make you
Yeah.
a better person.
That is so hugely
know
empowering.
that.
I do know that, but I think you also have to make a choice whether to, and I don't say this lightly because we've all been in a crappy place and felt like the world's closing in, but I do think at some point you make a choice whether to be a victim of that situation
Yeah.
or to learn from it and move on. And it's not easy, you know, I definitely think I was stuck in the mindset of being a victim to certain things and a bad patch of mental health that I felt I couldn't get out of
Yes.
until I was ready to make the choice. But I think
Yes.
you've, you know, shown that beautifully with the example of your brain tumour, that you made a choice to see the positive outcome and to grow and learn from it rather than, because you can come out of something like that and be shit scared forever that something awful is going to happen again. I think that's an easy route to take. I've definitely been there as well. When's the rug going to be pulled from under my feet again?
Yes.
It's a hard choice to make,
I
and
think-
probably one with a bit of discipline involved that you keep choosing to make that choice.
Yeah, and I think, I think like things like trauma. If you've been through a trauma, I mean something like a traumatic birth, and then you get pregnant again. Obviously, you're gonna be feeling fear around that again. That is normal, but I think when I'm talking about calamities, it can be anything, but it is where do you get your thinking to, and how can you think your way out of it?
Yeah.
I love that thing. I saw Mel Robbins the other day talking online. I'm slightly obsessed with her.
We love her.
They put her in my diary on Begin Again. You talked to her, didn't you, as well?
Yeah.
They put her.
Oh, we saw you
on the
discovering this.
Yeah, yes.
You couldn't believe it.
No, I thought they'd made a mistake. I mean, you've had your podcast for a while, but I was like, what,
Yeah, but you're Davina McCall, don't you know that?
No, but like she doesn't know that.
She does now.
She does now.
Does now.
Anyway, she said, no, you know, I love that idea. And I've heard it before, but no one's coming.
Yeah.
No one's coming. You've just got yourself. You can't keep waiting for somebody else to come and rescue you. You got to rescue yourself. But when you do, it feels so good.
Yeah.
And you feel so proud. And you think, oh, I did that myself.
Yeah.
I made myself better.
Yeah.
Well done, me.
Yeah. You're never going to get that feeling from outside validation
no.
or someone
No, it doesn't
telling
mean
you what
anything.
to do. I certainly realised that in the world of TV, because there was a period where I was just like, oh God, I must just be deeply unpopular. Like, why aren't things working out for me? But this childlike part of me kept going, someone's going to discover me and they're going to give me the show and then everything's going to be all right. And then when I woke up and was like, that's not going to happen, I can't rely on that solely. That's when I started making opportunities for myself and going off on a whole different tangent. But it massively applies to just life and hoping someone's going to save us, fix us, make everything okay. And yeah, we need good people around us. It's important, but we've got to do the work.
Yes.
It's bloody hard.
And it's bloody hard. And that's another thing that I've had to learn to not be resistant towards hard work on myself, to actually think, ooh, great, a juicy bit of hard work on myself.
Yeah.
Because almost the harder the work, the more work you have to do, the bigger the reward.
Yep.
Because you are in a darker, if you have to work harder, you're in a darker place. But when you see the light, the reward is so massive. And a couple of people have said today, oh, you look so well. But it's because I'm in a happy place.
Yes. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. I'll clip that up, Basil, and we'll put that on the trailer. Great.
And I think, again, that's about beginning again. If you're not in a happy place, you can begin again whenever you want or need.
Oh, you put both in that. Did you see? Shit, that was good. Oh, crikey. I can't cope. You're so true.
I didn't even know I'd done that. I was subconscious.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
It's so brilliant. And I think the key to that is what you said a moment ago, which is you not only like yourself, you love yourself. And when you start liking yourself / loving yourself, you want to do the hard work because you want to feel better.
Well, you're worth it.
You're worth. You know
point.
you deserve it.
Do you know another thing that I'd love to tell you is when I first got clean, in Narcotics Anonymous. I'm not giving away any secrets. I think most people know this. In Narcotics Anonymous, you have a sponsor, and that's somebody that's been around and clean for a bit longer than you, that can support you on your journey and that you can talk to if you're struggling at all. And I hated myself when I got clean. I mean, I really hated myself. I had let myself down. I had done things I said I would never do. I had let people down. I'd let myself down. I was ill. I just, my granny took care of me, and she was like, taught me morals and manners, and I'd lost all of that. Somehow I'd been infected with this dark shadow. And my sponsor said to me, the next time I saw her, she gave me a mirror. And it was a little mirror like that. And she said, I want to put you to put this on your bedside table. And every morning I want you to wake up and I want you to look at it. And I want you to say, I love you. And I saw her like a month later, and she went, how's it going? I said, I haven't done it. And she said, why not? I said, I just can't. It's too much. She said, okay, love's too strong. Let's start with like. So I was like, okay, I think I can do that. Anyway, I picked it up 2 nights later or something. And I looked in the morning, and I looked at it and I said, I like you. And then I couldn't stop crying because it wasn't true. I didn't. And I was like, how did I get here? How did that happen?
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm going to try it again tomorrow. And it took me 6 months before I could even say, I love you. But I started realizing that you can like yourself, warts and all. I didn't have to be perfect. I was allowed to have an argument. I was allowed to judge someone. I was allowed to be impatient. I was allowed to not be perfect and still like myself. And that the little wins in life, me going to a meeting, me trying to help a newcomer, me not taking heroin and not drinking, like yourself for that, like, well done.
Yeah.
And eventually that turned into love. And I don't ever want to be perfect. I'm never going to be perfect. I have lots of defects of character that I'm aware of, and I work on, and I try and be better. But it's when you accept yourself, warts and all, and you are still able to love yourself.
Yeah.
This is like a really wonderful, lovely place to get to.
I think it's the foundation of all good mental health. As much as I love doing yoga and meditation and all the things that we've got on offer here, I don't think it touched the sides if you don't like yourself.
Yeah.
It will make you feel good for a minute, and then you're back in the cycle of self-loathing, beating yourself up about things. It's a really hard thing to land on. And I wonder, have you felt, because I certainly have over the years, not so much now, but over the years, due to the nature of our job, there is a hell of a lot of noise and outside opinion. And at points in my career, I conflated other people's opinion of me with what I knew about myself. So I started to believe anything anyone said, whether it was really not very good, actually, just all the bad stuff. I was like, yeah, I must be whatever John from Bognor said, or, whoever's texted into the radio show. John from Bognor, you arsehole. He's not a real person. But do you know what I mean? I would just take on all of it. Like anything anyone said, I would just believe it. And I think it's when you get to a place of, as you say, I like myself, whatever the weather, I'm going to have my own back. That's when you can start to go, I don't care what John thinks. It's not my issue. That's John's life. God, John's so getting it in the neck. But John's got his own issues going on, and he's just taking it out on me. It doesn't matter. What's your relationship been like with being in the public eye and having that feedback?
When we talked on Begin Again and I heard your story, I think the really big thing that hit me was how young you were when you became famous.
Yeah.
And that is an enormous pressure. And in a way, I'm quite pleased that, I was a waitress for 2 years, which I loved, massive learning. I worked in a shop, and then I got a job as a model agent on the men's desk.
She knows what's up.
Tough job.
What a tough
Someone had to do it. Actually, it was really good fun. being in fashion and everything. But I didn't get into telly. I harassed people at MTV for 3 years to give me an audition. And I didn't get into telly until I was 25. Thank God, because I got clean at 24. And if I'd have got an audition for MTV, then I would have messed it up. So it was all meant to be. Everything fell into place. But I was pleased, unlike you, that I'd got to do all my mad stuff and be young and, naughty and behave badly out of any kind of judgment or public kind of criticism. And I could start MTV clean and like a kind of new, like being reborn. So I was very lucky then. And I actually feel like the older I've got, the less anything like that bothers me. But so I would say in my 20s, if people used to say, the thing that people used to level at me is that I was just annoyingly enthusiastic.
That's like the best thing about you, by the way.
But I am still like that. Like,
Oh, it's why we all love you.
Okay,
Because
okay.
you're like,
but
you
I am
love life.
It's
You
a
love
bit like Marmite. Like some people really like that, and some people absolutely hate it, and that's okay.
Yeah.
This is the loving yourself, warts and all. I am annoyingly enthusiastic. And for some people, that's great. And for other people, it makes them want to, it's like, please turn this off. She is a nightmare. But I'm like, yeah, turn it off. Like, I don't mind.
I think those people might be miserable.
Well, I also think they'll probably love someone Morrissey.
Miserable.
Yeah,
like, correct, yeah.
Leonard Cohen. But I don't need it.
No.
That's what's so nice. And I wouldn't change for that.
No,
and
God, no.
But I would have done when I was younger.
Yeah, I think that's what
I like about
to feel
getting older.
Yeah, it's the best thing. All of my friends, I've got lots of really interesting, wonderful, intergenerational friendships that I love. One of my friends was in her 80s. She died a few years ago, but you just get such a different dynamic and advice. And that's the one thing that I've heard again and again is when you get in your 60s, you'll give even less of a shit.
Yes.
Wait till you get in your 70s. Wait till you get in your 80s. And then like my mum yesterday, who's 72, walking around, can I have that cardigan for free? Like, she doesn't care. She doesn't care. I didn't get the free cardigan. I wanted the cardigan. She didn't care. And that is liberating. Yeah, her mate Babs. That's Fearne's mum. Can she have the cardigan for free? Oh my God, you're so embarrassing. Pay for the cardigan. Pay for the cardigan. I care. She doesn't care. But that's what I'm aiming for, not caring. Yeah, she's not here, so I don't care now, telling that story. But I think that is absolute liberation, getting older and not giving a shit.
Yes.
Heaven.
Yes, and I think, I'm sure there are people here that can relate to that. It's a gift.
A gift.
There's got to be a gift with aging because otherwise it could feel like a loss. But aging is a loss of one thing, but you gain so much more in another way. I saw a girl earlier, I think she's here, there, in a beautiful outfit. And she was like, oh, I said, you look amazing. She's like, no, I think it's inappropriate. I'm 40, I shouldn't really be wearing. And I was like, sweating my arse off. I literally don't care.
No.
I am wearing a skirt at
love
57.
Yes.
I don't care. And the more inappropriately someone dresses, the older they are, the more I love them.
Yeah, same.
I was thinking, I need women 60, 70, 80, my elder stateswomen, I need you to be outlandish and outrageous. I'm loving all this crochet, by the way. You look amazing. I need people out there shining the light for me so that life, as I get older, looks like it's going to be exciting.
Yes,
and that's what I want to do for you. I want you to look at me and go, oh my God, being in my 50s, late 50s is going to be great.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, you are thriving.
Yes.
I've known you a long time, and it just seems like you are thriving more than you ever have. You've got your podcast, you've got your fitness app, you're in a bloody great relationship, you're constantly challenging yourself with new TV projects. That is exciting.
But I feel like you're there as well. I feel like
Yeah.
it's so funny, like you and I are entering into very similar phases in our lives. And it feels like we're at a time where even if things go wrong, you don't perceive it like that anymore. Things that go wrong are teaching you somewhere, guiding you somewhere. And that is the gift of getting older. You just learn more and more.
It's so great. I'm going off on a totally random
Love that.
tangent. And it's a quick question.
Yes.
But because you brought up the start of your career and MTV a moment ago, my brain is now obsessing about.
Oh, yeah. Go.
Can you just please bring back Street Mate? Still the greatest show that's ever been on TV.
Do you know what?
There's never been a better TV show.
You know what's mad? For Stand Up to Cancer, a few years ago, I did a street mate with a woman who had recovered from breast cancer. And I took her out. She wanted to meet somebody, and she was finding it hard. She kind of lost a bit of confidence. And I was like, right, we're going to go and get you a date for tomorrow night. And we went out, we went into an office, and we found a guy, and like we'd gone all over the place. And it was so fun doing it again. And Channel 4 were like, let's bring it back. And I was like, yes, let's bring it back. And we were, making all the moves and everything. And then 2 days before they announced it was coming back, they told me that they changed their minds. They were going with Scarlett Moffat. And I was like, no,
But you are Street Mate.
So Scarlett did it. And then I feel like it was brought back and tried out, and it didn't go. So I was like, well, we have to let go of that.
Well, do you then?
So if anybody wants me to match make them, come see me.
Let's do it live at the Happy Place Festival. Davina, I want to ask you this last question.
Yes.
I'm not quite sure what the answer is to this, but
Yes.
where is your happy place?
I think with people I love. So Michael, our kids, our families, probably in a karaoke bar or Ibiza.
Yeah. It's a very happy place.
But with people I love in a place, music, dancing, I feel free. We were listening to Florence and the Machine the other day, and that song Free, and picks me up, puts me down, picks me up, puts me down. Everybody dancing, that for me, with people you love, it's like, that's my drug of choice.
Yeah.
It makes you feel so...
It's the best.
yeah.
We're having a big...
Where's yours?
Mine changes all the time. It's definitely by the sea.
Yes.
But I think it is more about the people that I'm with and just being with people where I feel safe. That's a big thing for me.
Yes.
Feeling safe. And like I'm not, I don't know, being judged or there's any
Yes.
danger in that situation.
I
Just
totally
feeling
get that.
safe. But we're going to have a huge dance in a moment because Goldie Rocks is going to DJ.
Yes,
us on
I'm
the
so
centre
excited about that.
stage. Yeah, and we're just going to dance. And everyone's going to dance, aren't you?
Can I just say, Goldie Rocks is the greatest name ever.
I know, and she's also the most amazing DJ.
Oh.
Incredible. So that's how we're going to end our amazing Sunday and our Happy Place Festival. I am so grateful for all of you turning up and for sitting and listening to this live podcast. And I'm eternally grateful, not only for your friendship, but
I'm
for
so
being here
proud of
today.
you, Fearne. Isn't she amazing?
Oh, God.
Fearne Cotton.
Please give it up for Davina McCall.
I love you so much.